Space, the final frontier.
Welcome back to Minnesota Matters. I'm Scott Peterson. William Shatner is an iconic TV actor, Emmy winner, author, recording artist, and of course, he was Captain Kirk on Star Trek. Shatner is appearing at GalaxyCon in Minneapolis this weekend, and I had a chance to talk with him about a life and career that has gone like no other has gone before. You've got a pretty diverse resume. It seems like you've been an explorer as much in your real life as you were as Captain Kirk. How long have you had that need to explore, and where do you think it comes from?
Well, I don't know. The overriding emotion, and the older I get, the more pointed the emotion becomes, is the curiosity about things the world offers. There's so much out there that we don't know, and so much there to be explored, and so much to be seen and experienced, and in a lifetime you can't do it all, but you can strive, which is what I'm doing. So I want to taste life as fully as I can until I can't.
Your list of iconic roles is quite long, and I just want to touch on a couple of those roles, if you don't mind.
Please.
Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, the Twilight Zone episode. You play an airplane passenger who thinks he sees a creature on the wing.
Right.
It's still a scary episode. A lot of it is you kind of selling the fear and the panic, but and the creature doesn't quite look as scary as it used to. I'm curious what your recollections of making that classic episode of TV are.
You point at the creature. The creature is a Czechoslovakian acrobat in a fuzzy suit, and when I saw him for the first time, I thought, my God, he's not aerodynamic. How is he going to stand on the wing of a jet plane? I mean, give the illusion. But it's interesting what happens, because I thought this is going to be the joke of all time. What have I done? But when one is able to write or act, perform a basic human condition, like, for example, the fear of flying. I mean, every time a plane lurches, except for an experienced pilot who themselves might look outside, what was that? Everybody freezes for that moment, what's happening to the plane, because there's a feeling, and justified in its way, of jeopardy. So you're always being jeopardized on an airplane, and so this object on the wing is tapping into a basic human frailty, which is the magic of storytelling, because everybody releases the skepticism of the little thing on the wing and joins in on the story of if we were meant to fly, we'd have wings.
You mentioned people and characters in jeopardy. You've played the killer on Columbo more than once. As a person who's been an iconic character in several different projects, what was it like sharing scenes and getting to play the villain with Peter Falk, who himself was playing an iconic character?
Right. Peter was wonderful. I loved him. It was very much the way he acts and speaks on camera. Acting is like trying to find the truth. So there's a truth in the villain as well as the hero. And so when you play something villainous, you're not playing villainy. You're playing a guy who needs to do this to survive.
What do you think that you were able to bring to the character of Captain Kirk on Star Trek that wasn't necessarily on the page?
Well, I had just come off 3 seasons of playing Shakespeare, and so there's the look of eagles in the historical heroes, and I think maybe I was looking at that there was something about leadership, something about nobility that I brought with me inadvertently. I wasn't thinking it.
Is there an aspect of being part of Star Trek that you're particularly proud of, looking back on it?
We, in this civilization will never see the likes of Star Trek. It's an absolute showbiz phenomena. There may be shows that last 55 years, but it certainly won't be in my lifetime. So we'd have to wait around 55 years to see if another show had that kind of longevity, and it's still going, and more are being added. We don't know how long Star Trek will last. So there's a great deal about Star Trek that I'm very proud of to have been, starting it and accompanying it as long as I have. So Star Trek is a point of pride with me, not something I'm tired of. I'm enthused by it all the time.
That's great to hear. You did that skit on SNL in the 80s where you told fans to get a life. Was that a turning point? I mean, was it more than just a skit or
no,
not necessarily?
I had no idea that some people would take it seriously because we all laughed. But it was meant as a joshing humor. But you can see from this convention, although they're not all coming to see Star Trek, there'll be a good number of them coming to see the Star Trek phenomena, and Star Trek begat a lot of this science fiction world, and it's a pleasure to go to a place like Minneapolis and see 25,000 people turn out.
Well, we're looking forward to having you. I just want to ask you one more question. Of course, the saying is, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. You've been imitated more than most, so you have a good perspective on this. Are you flattered by the best impressions of you?
Yeah, I've been known to turn to whoever is with me and say, what are they doing? I guess they're doing me, but I don't recognize it.
And Mr. Shatner, in closing, what's the next thing that you plan to explore?
I'll make an announcement in the next few weeks. It's something really startling, I believe. And in the meantime, I just finished a blues album, so that might be equally startling.
A very special thank you to my guest, TV icon William Shatner. He'll be appearing at GalaxyCon this weekend at the Minneapolis Convention Center. For more information, you can visit MinneapolisGalaxyCon.com. That's going to do it for this week. Thank you for listening, and please tune in again next week for Minnesota Matters on this MNN station.